if anybody has any questions on device flow for SSH.
Yeah, Scott, I got a quick question. How does it know what Unix user you are?
Good question. So we have a lot of flexibility about how we do that. And for this particular deployment, it's all configured so that I have an identifier. Let's make sure you can see that. I have an identifier here called the UID on this record. And it's been configured so that the UID is what gets processed as part of the set of information that gets sent to the service on the back end. That's completely configurable, so we have lots of flexibility. And we can also generate these UIDs automatically for users. So some organizations don't want to let users choose their own identifier, and they want to have them auto-generated. So we can have co-manage do either of those things. And then we can configure the infrastructure so that different services are presented with different pieces of information.
Yeah, so Darcy's asked, was the user record created as part of the SSH login, or was that there previously?
Good question. For this demo, I had pre-provisioned the account because it's a demo.
Yep.
But co-manage has a rich set of provisioners, we call them. I don't know if I have any. The only one I have set up here is the LDAP provisioner. But we have a number of different provisioners, and so co-manage can push out information to various services. So we can send it along as part of the authentication flow, but we can also do a provisioning or a push of the information at different parts of the lifecycle management. And so a typical use case for something like a high-performance computing center would be to push that information out at the time the user is enrolled so that the organization can consume that information and create home directories, Unix accounts, and things like that.
So we've, I guess, talked with some customers about pushing it directly to their computing nodes and creating accounts, or provisioning a staging table so they can run sort of a batch process and a couple of times a day provisioning new users, depending on how they want it to work.
Exactly. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, too.
Did that answer your question, Nick?
Yes, did. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.